Good evening. The socio-economic impact of the pandemic will push many poor households to desperate measures just to survive. Children could end up facing an increased risk of child labor, sexual exploitation, perhaps even child marriage, as families struggle to feed their families. The COVID-19 pandemic could turn into a serious child rights crisis as hundreds of thousands of the most vulnerable children get potentially exposed to a dangerous mix of extreme poverty, malnutrition, and hunger as a result of the virus. World Vision India is closely working with state governments and the district administration to provide people with basic essentials during this lockdown. And we at NDTV feel very, very proud to be associated with this cause. This telethon is called Together with Children Towards a Hunger-Free India. Pranoy Roy and Nidhi Kulpati with us as well.
You're spot on, Vishnu. It is great to be working with World Vision, a global organization looking after children. And you know, the new lockdown that we're going to face again, we've just been announced. There's a lot of data that supports the fact that we needed it, that we could not completely get out of a lockdown yet. In fact, there is data that shows a second spike could be just about starting in many states. And that's because so many people are moving from one state to another. They've been in very close proximity. They've been infecting each other. Many of the new cases, for example, in Bihar, are because of the enormous number of migrants who've come in there. And migrants, I'm not just talking about people walking, migrants from the Middle East, migrants from England, migrants from one city to another who are going in Rajdhani and in cars. People who are migrating, it's not a derogatory term, it's people who are moving. Let's not ever treat it as a derogatory term. They are guests of one state or the other, like all of us. And if you ask me, okay, we've had a great success with our lockdown. It was important, it's proven to be right. The R rate, which we shall talk about later at some point, the reinfection rate has gone down considerably, but it started going up when movement started. And while we've been a success in the lockdown, it's been a disastrous policy when it has not been thought through the implications of our people walking hundreds, thousands of miles just to survive, because they've not been given any reassurance. What is the government, or any government, I'm not talking about centre, states, anybody, what are our political leaders doing? This is the time to reach out, give money to the poorest of the poor directly and help them, and make sure they don't feel insecure and have to walk hundreds and thousands of miles. But most heart-rending is to see them walking with little children. The little children are the saddest sight and really a condemnation of how we feel in our society for our children. It makes you really want to weep. And they're just forgotten. They're not numbered, they don't have Aadhaar cards. They are really being forgotten. So being together with children, I think this is the most important lesson to highlight today. And I'm so glad that we're doing this with World Vision, and it is just crucial to be made a headline. Our children, let's not forget them.
और अगर मैं बच्चों की तरफ से चंद लाइनें बोलूं, छोटी छोटी हथेलियों में चावल थमा दो तो जानो, इन्हें थाम के कुछ हौसला दे तो जानो, कोई खींच ना ले इन्हें बंधुआ की तरह, या दबा ना दे एक दरिंदे की तरह, या ब्याह दे गरीबी हो वजह, छोटी छोटी हथेलियों में खाना दो तो जानो, इन्हें थाम के भूख मिटा दो तो जानो। तो आइए इस मुहिम को आगे बढ़ाते हैं, उस कार्यक्रम में आगे बढ़ते हैं।